welcome to RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play of Kingdoms. It's been a little bit since we've last played, so a recap for those who, like me, maybe watched it at double speed the last second before we started recording. Um, the last time the group defeated a fiery creature out in the woods and completed the reconstruction of what appeared to be some sort of telescope that reflected starlight onto the ground, growing those strange flowers that seem to be present in your environs. There were three departures of characters. Um, Marceline went to sleep, I believe. Ulrich slunk off into the hills to his hidden. Oh no, Ulrich, I'm sorry, went on top of a temple and turned to stone. And Valthros, yes, snuck into the snowy escapes of the mountains and attempted to never be seen again. But I believe that, yes, that Valthres might know what's going on there. So we have Delilah is now the elder of the group, has been there for a while, has been working her way towards the Marble Flats after receiving a word from up above to go there and reclaim the lands. Um, Ulver is the new leader of the Dominion of Infinity. Yes, heroic Ulver, but maybe harboring a dark secret. Maybe. Zelaros has branched out into military under the new ownership of Valthris, and Genevieve is building a new religious district along against her rival, who is in the background at this point. So let's start this session talking with Genevieve. You
hmm
first. Who's your new god?
so in Laval, we worship the mother. This is a very matriarchal kind of religion. Think very much like oracles of Delphi, where
Yeah.
we have priestesses. They get really high on something, see visions, and speak with their goddess. So very much like that.
Nice.
We have like these temples that kind of worship the female form, things like that.
Hmm. Very artistic, like
Yes,
very
yes.
fancy. Yeah, I like that a lot.
And I think
What?
that Genevieve consults with the oracles often. I think
Ah,
she feels like something's coming, like they're warning her, but she can't see that it's Vivian like plotting in the background.
mhm,
So like
mhm.
her paranoia like has her consulting with them often.
I like it. I like it a lot. What is the domain that the mother is over?
What are my options? I'm sorry, I did not realize that I needed to pick a
Yes.
domain. What are the
Um,
options?
yes. It's really any word that you want to say. So, like the examples that they do are fertility, death,
Oh, I see.
conquest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can spend favor to get re-rolls
I'm gonna
on.
go along with like arts and culture, unless it's
Okay.
something I need to
Yeah.
roll.
Nope.
But yeah,
Nope.
again, kind of like
Absolutely
leaning
not.
on that kind of Greek-esque. Yeah, it's like very much like arts and culture type thing.
Awesome. All right. What is a tenet and what is a taboo of that? So a tenet
Mm.
is what you do to gain favor with the god. A taboo is something you obviously would lose favor.
Mm. It's interesting.
Oh, you actually get to do two of each.
Okay. So a tenet would be gaining like writing a poem or an epic or
Hmm.
like an artistic depiction of the mother or just like um yeah, like something like that.
Yeah,
So
I like
very
that.
artistic, like an artistic depiction or a poem or a piece of literature that kind of venerates the mother. And
Mm.
a taboo, I think, is taking life in the name of the mother. Actually, it's very
Oh,
much like not that's not what we do here. Not in the name of the mother anyway.
yes. If you're going to do it, don't claim it's for her
Yes,
sake. I like that.
exactly.
I like that. You start with two favor. In the future, we'll we'll keep moving, but if you want another tenant and taboo, you actually can do those as well.
Okay.
So we'll move that. The more religious districts you build, the more tenets and taboos you can do.
Okay.
Over. Same question. Who are you worshiping?
This is the astral all father, who
Ooh,
is the god of the stars, which is the domain. Stars. I will say
nice.
that the tenet is that one must stargaze every night for at least
Ooh.
5 minutes. And taboo is to look at the sun. Oh shit. They must never ever look at the sun.
What? So typically, there's not much of a sun in
Oh,
kingdoms, I think. Uh, it's pretty dark.
in that
Well,
case, they must never use unnatural or artificial light.
oh,
Whoa.
So I would
Wow.
say unnatural light is like probably electricity. But then again, thinking about the technology level, we don't even have
yeah,
electricity.
it's
So
pretty low, but I could see that maybe you're trying to cultivate more of these flowers that give off like a little bit of the light. Maybe
yeah,
that's becoming uh it is more taboo to use torches and that
yep,
sort of thing. I
that's
like
right.
that. All right, make sure you gain your two favor. And remember, you can also put another taboo or tenant should you so desire.
Okay.
And let's talk about the tech level. We didn't talk about it last time. So, what are people up to? I think two are more advanced than the others.
All right, I'm at 2.5, and I don't know if that was advanced at the end of last session or not. So
Same.
okay, then yeah. So
Oh,
I think as long as Valthress and I are like the same level, because I knew we were a little bit higher,
yeah.
then it
And then the
matches.
other at four, I suspect.
I believe so.
I think you didn't advance then last
Okay.
time. So, for those that are at six, you're now becoming more proficient with the use of that blood metal to the point where it is becoming common in tools for your kingdom.
Okay. Cool.
Um, for those that are one lower, you're now getting more use of mathematics. So, probably through people from the academies, you're starting to learn like trade math, academic math, that sort of thing. So let's go around and I'm going to look at Valthris first. What changes go? We've gone a few years since the deaths of or disappearances, I think for most of you of
Yeah.
your previous leader. What changes has Valthris made?
Ooh, man, you're throwing me in the deep end. I could barely remember what happened last time.
Yeah.
I think Valthrus, in terms of the changes, like she's going from this like insane dictatorship of her father about like power and shit like that, and it's getting better for people, but it's like still like I think she's finding it really irritating that she's given
Mm.
people a little bit of freedom and then they choose to do what they choose to do with it. It's like, no, you idiots. So she's kind of like this tug of war between like, you're free now to pursue your own lives, but we still need you all to join the military and help build
Right.
these towers and shit. Like, right. So things
Yeah,
are
because they
things have
want to
been getting
they want to go off and do things like have free time and work on like extra food and stuff.
I didn't live my entire life unsleeping in a citadel surrounded by screaming fish for you people to have free time. Like, come on.
What happened with the screaming fish, by the way?
Oh, Valthrus has moved them out of the throne room. And she's created maybe secret's not the right word, but like when she needs to just really delve deep, it's
Mhm.
like whatever the opposite of a sensory deprivation chamber is. Like she enters it to meditate, and it's
Yeah,
filled with screams and fish, and like it reminds her of growing up a little bit, and it can like really laser focus her mind.
I like that.
So you know,
But there's a little bit of self-punishment in there that's interesting, is she's
yeah.
like her upbringing was so terrible she has to go back to that
I
to
like to
focus.
think too that I don't know. Maybe we've had relations with Ulver's kingdom. Um, and like when certain people die, like
Mhm.
Sarat the Stonesmith and Marith the religious
Yep.
count, like they eventually, like maybe somehow I was able to get them turned into that like corpse stone or whatever. And they're like installed in the screaming fish chamber, like they're like look at that.
They're just aquarium decorations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But there's
So
like that fondness of like, oh, I grew up with them. They're right there.
they're there.
Yeah.
They're in a perpetual state of eternal agony. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
nice, yeah.
I
So
like
she's
that.
doing great. She's doing good. She's recently started cooking sourdough, so that's a big that's a big thing for her. It's great. It's going good. Um,
I like that. I like that. There's a sense almost of boredom that I'm getting off of her, of like she's made this machine, she's taken over this machine that her father created, and she wants to get away from it, but also that's kind of what she knows, what she wants to do. So
yep.
I like that. What about Delilah? You haven't had a changeover, so how has the years and these new companions, how has that changed, Delilah?
Um, I think Delilah is definitely focusing more on expanding the domain of our religion.
Hmm.
So she's probably focused on expanding it to the pig kingdom, I think, and
Yep,
converting
yep.
them to her religion because they did get 1/3 of their population destroyed by Ulrich. So I think that they'd probably be inclined to side with another kingdom other than his.
I like that a lot. I'd like you to make a roll in fact for me, for your kingdom as I go back and definitely look at the stats. Can you make a will roll for your kingdom?
And that's 2d6.
Uh, should be a
Or is it?
D20. Yeah, D20,
Oh,
and you want to
d20.
roll. Yep,
d20,
you
yeah.
want to roll under your stat or
Uh,
equal. Yeah.
I need to get my stat.
Gasp. Let's assume it's a 3 and just roll on
A 3? No.
it.
uh, sorry about this, guys.
Here we go.
Oh, here it is. No, that's a fail.
Okay. The people of Australia are, you are correct, is they lost a third of their kingdom to the Dominion. So it's pretty obvious that they're not huge fans of, um, even with the changeover, even with Ulver now in charge, they're
Oops.
still, yeah, they're still sketchy about the whole thing. I mean, the disease is still present that can turn people into this like slate skinned sort of person. There is always this fear that it will spread to the animals as well. So the kingdom of Australia is getting a little bit more standoffish towards all of this. And you make some progress, right? Like you're obviously going to get some converts, but the leader, Grosstein, is pretty standoffish with you. He does not he doesn't really take an audience with you ever. He doesn't entertain the idea of a temple in their city. It's not his jam.
Well, time for the stick.
All right. I like that. So, what does the stick look like? What do the preparations look like in Avalon then?
Um, I think that is are th those are rivers, right? The little
Right.
rivery things. I
Yes.
think we're definitely getting our warships ready to go up the river
Ah, I like
near
that.
Tord, because it's our holy city and we'll get a big blessing from it. And then we're gonna try to have a big armada go up the river and conquer them.
I like it. I like it. All right. So there are the drum beats of war starting in Avalon. And let's go across the plains to Ulver, the hero! Exclamation
That's
mark.
right. I'm a hero. So Oliver, something's gone very awry because one day, Oliver will declare many, many benefits to the citizens of the kingdom, and then just the next day, those will get repealed, and then it's like
Mm.
really like erratic. So far that Ulara, the sister twin, she's going to declare a civil war. So there will be a civil war in my kingdom.
Oh,
However, that is
wow.
a ruse. There's going to be a lot of information spread that, oh, there's this horrible civil war going on, but like no
Hmm.
one's fighting.
Interesting.
As some part of just some crazy master plan that no one knows what's going on.
I like it. How's Alara doing with this, right? Because is she in on it or is she actively trying to fight Ulver?
I'm going to say she's actively trying to fight.
Interesting.
It's all part of the plan.
Interesting. So what is Ulver doing with the knowledge that he has from Ulrich, like taking over the body? How is he keeping Alara from striking out against him?
Internally, there's been a mistake or some kind of fault with full control over Ulver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Ulver and Ulrich like swapping back and forth. Um, and Ulver is trying to be a hero and like prevent people from dying. Meanwhile, Ulrich won't even stand for what is perceived as treason.
Yeah.
So he'd like order troops to form up and order the treasonous people civilians to be slaughtered. But then Ulver would take over and be like, no, we would just stand
Mm-hmm.
down, don't do that.
I like that. I
So
like that.
nothing is being done.
All right. That explains why your sister might be like preparing one day to strike, and then the next day, like the battalion that was there is just disbanded and
That's right.
there. I'd like you to do a will test as well
Sure. My pleasure.
to kind of see what effect this has on the kingdom.
7 out of 9.
Okay.
So that's a
Okay.
success.
That is a success. So the kingdom is taking this pretty well. The people,
Good.
though, right, there was a, what's the word for it? Sort of fatalism about
Sure.
life under Ulrich. And that has returned, but not towards, I will turn to stone, towards, there is no leadership. I must become self sufficient. So I think you're finding a lot more independent people coming up and starting to claim sort of ownership over towns, right? They'll still say, oh, yes, of course, we serve Ulver. But if you start getting in the streets, you might find that people are more beholden to a local duke or town member or something like that. But there's still peace in the land for the
Good.
moment.
Don't worry, it's all part of a master plan to look weak when we're not.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Oh, for sure the other three have heard about this at this
like,
point.
what's happening? And as they look at their morning newspaper,
Yeah.
huh?
Huh. Yeah. Huh. Gathering for
Dominion
war
of Infinity.
declares peace. Declares war peace. Huh. All right. And then far across the continent on an island, Genevieve. What changes has Genevieve made?
So, in the immediate wake of the death of Marceline, she kind of is a little rudderless and just tries to carry on her mother's legacy for a while and just kind of running through that. Becomes more confident and establishes this religious or maybe her mom probably, like, Marceline started the religious district. That's maybe
Sure.
it's like one of her last things, and then Vivian or Genevieve strengthens it. But she's been hearing from the oracles that there's a threat very close to her, and she's interpreting that as Zelaros is a threat, not that Vivian is a threat. And Vivian is kind of like seeding the planting the seeds of doubt, right? Like she's, oh, they're really close, and Valthress is technically her daughter, but it's like, there's probably no loyalty there at all. And look, they're building all the, they're strengthening their armies, and sister, come on, we need to be ready. And so she starts kind of feeling like, okay, I need to start training up people, maybe start building a wall. So construction begins on the perimeter of Laval to like build up this, where typically they'd kept a very open, like, this is a valley, this is beautiful. And I think Vivian making these moves approaches Valthress, and I don't, Valthress can handle that however she wants, right? But kind of approaches her with this like concern, like, I feel like my sister is your mother. She's, I have concerns about the decisions that she's making. I feel like this isn't in the best interest for our island, and maybe trying to do a little backhanded dealing there. And that'll leave it open, of course, like Valthress's decision how she wants to interpret that. But yeah, there's this like the seeds of doubt are being spread, and Genevieve is becoming more paranoid.
How is this affecting the academy?
Yeah, she's requested like classes in what's the word I'm thinking of? Not war, but like what strategy, like strategy
Yeah.
and like preparing people, and more classes and swordsmanship and things like that. So, and I think that displeases a lot of Lavalians, because it's like, this is not
Yeah.
what we were. This is not who we are. And,
Yeah.
maybe at one point, like there was, I don't know, again, I'll lean on Colin here. Maybe at one point there was kind of a treaty of like, Zelaros maybe provides a little bit more of the muscle, and Laval provides a little bit more of like the culture, the arts, the luxury, or whatever. But now that's changing. So,
People,
and people are unhappy about that.
my people don't need luxury. Are you kidding me? They don't need.
Well, then maybe we'll say like Lavalians. We're kind of thinking like, oh, Zelaros has always been there as like our protector or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like now maybe there's even a little bit of paranoia in the land. Like, we're building a wall. What does this mean? Are we going to war? So
Yeah, that's interesting. I think too the people are confused by this as well, with
yeah,
the relationship between Genevieve and Valthress, of why that split. We should be closer than ever now that the madman who hurled a bunch of people into a
it's
volcano
gone.
for
Yeah,
his funeral where he didn't die, yeah, he's just out. It should be better than ever. So I think that's great. There is a lot of confusion in
right.
the lands here as we are beginning. So, what, now that we've established this, what are the different groups doing? What are the leaders looking for here?
I think Genevieve wants something to like show her strength, like a show of strength, like a fight where she can kind of prove herself, maybe a lot to herself too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to show everyone, but also like I need to prove to myself I can do this. So she's looking for a fight, I think.
That's
Not
fair.
necessarily with the other nations, but like, like the hunt. She's looking for a hunt.
Right.
How about that? Yeah.
I like that.
My people need an icon. So I must be a hero and slay some beasts. And in the back of his mind, like, no, you don't. Take care of the Civil War.
um, does that part want to kill Alara or just kind of bring her in line? Like, what's the fatherly
Oh,
level there?
I would say that that voice wants to just have a sit down with Ulara and like
Mhm.
scheme together. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
let's
Oh,
work together. Let's maintain the Civil War facade so people think we're weak. So if people think we're weak, they either ignore us
yep,
or
yep,
they underestimate us. And that's
like
what
that.
Ulrich wants to do.
I
Hmm.
like that. What about Delilah? You've started to prep for war, but what's your current thought with the other kingdoms?
I think I'm definitely assembling a big mothership that has it's powered by a big gear in the back that sort of spins it on like a riverboat.
Yeah, nice.
And I think she's more concerned with her preparations for war than the other people because she thinks that Valthris and Genevieve are way too far away to be of concern, and then Ulver is having some sort of civil war, so he's nothing to worry about there.
I like it. And Valthress, what about you?
Oh boy. I think that Valthress is almost in over her head. Like as much as her father tried to prepare her to take on this legacy or whatever, now that it's here and she can do whatever she wants with it, it's like maybe like a little bit of a deer in the headlights, like I don't know what to do now. So I think she's gonna lean back into the old adages of her father, like rule and dominate and all of that stuff.
Mm,
So to that end, maybe she's you know, getting everybody ready. Like maybe it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like Genevieve builds a wall and starts training warriors, so it's like because she
yep.
thinks we're a threat, then that actually makes us train more warriors to become a threat. So yeah.
Oh,
We're doing
this is great. You guys are making a powder keg here, and I like
it.
it.
Yeah. This is gonna end so happy. I can't wait. I'm excited.
We're all gonna live happily ever after.
I hope this whole 4 hour episode is us having a peace accord. That's it.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because I think then we'll continue. Valthris, you are in your now much quieter throne room, we'll say, because I believe that was your heirloom, was the throne itself.
The bone throne. Yep.
I don't know about that name. It's very good, but I don't know about it. When your announcers, whatever they call the people that are like, oh, the Duke of whoever, they let you know that Grosstein, the leader of Grozar, or the son of Grozar, the leader of Australia, is here to have an audience with you, milady.
Bring him in.
And he walks in and is a reminder you're all like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Um, Grosstein is in the middle, right? Like he's not quite a low blood, but he's definitely not the level you are. So he's maybe like 7 feet tall, but he's rotund, much like his father before him. He's dressed in very fine clothing. You know them as a more mercantile kingdom
Mhm.
and mercantile. There we go. I can say it right. And he's dressed fairly nicely, but you can't help but still smell a bit of the pigs on him,
Mhm.
right? Is he can never quite get that smell of manure after like out of
Mhm.
him. But he bows to you, my lady. Say, I'm glad to be in your colder than I expected kingdom.
Yes, yes. And what brings you so far to our humble little island?
I honestly worry is You may have heard of the kingdoms to our south, the the Dominion and Avalon. I have reason to fear that they are planning to at least attack us or do something. And I was hoping you would join um, my people for a peace accord of some kind, some sort of truce. We are not a group of fighters. We need your help.
Hmm. Yes. And what would you offer me for my aid?
Well, we have many routes that we trade upon. We have a food supply that I suspect you do not have quite as much, and uh, that would be much appreciated to have your sort of alliance. This is a valuable sort of group that I'm in charge of. I've been in discussion with many of the other um, smaller kingdoms, of course, none quite as magnificent as yours, but
Yes, yes, yes. Well, well, then you shall have it.
and I'd like you to make a will check as you're looking at this person.
No, I don't know if we ever actually figured out her stats. Should I
Oh
just
no.
use what we had before? I rolled a 6 for strength because I was like no strength for Valthros.
That makes sense. Technically, it's we'd need to know the Genevieve's, I believe,
Her
and then I
strength is
think
12.
you. Yes, and of course I have it right on hand to tell you exactly what that number should be. 12, my goodness.
And Valthros was a 15
They're
strength.
averaged between the two parents. So between 6 and 12.
27, 13, right?
It's
13.
12 and 15. So Genevieve was 12, Valthros
Yep.
was 15. So yeah, like 13, right?
13. Yep. Then
Rounded up
roll.
14, rounded down 13.
Yeah, I'll take a
Yes.
13. That's fine.
Yeah.
What was her dex?
Yeah. Her dex is 9.
And mine's 11, so that takes it to a 10. And how about her will?
14.
14 and 12, 26 bumps to 13. Okay, 13.
Good.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
will for 13, right?
Yeah, go for that. Technically, I think you also do D4, but we'll continue with the average. I think
I
that
rolled a
makes sense.
4 under 13.
Okay, I like that. You agree with Grostain here,
Mhm.
and you get the impression as he sort of bows and compliments you some more, he doesn't like you.
Mhm.
In fact, all of this feels very put on.
Mhm. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, it gives me something to do. I think to myself like, oh, the possibilities. Yes.
I
And I laugh just like that while on the throne, looking him dead in the eyes.
um I I was hoping that you might put in a good word as well with your mother. I was planning to go there next to discuss the very same with her.
Have you ever drank blood before in your life?
Um, we do, uh, I mean, pig's blood, of course.
I see, I see. When you approach my mother, I think it would be wise of you to present to her an offering of blood and partake of it with her. What blood do you think you have that is the most valuable?
Uh, um,
Think hard on that.
uh, we appreciate your advice, and you get this, yeah, that look of like, oh no. So
Yes, well,
very good. Well, would you be willing to meet with us? We are planning to have an accord in Lock Inge It's a town um, along the river to the south that we would meet in about a month's time, giving everyone time to travel if you'd be interested.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Of course, of course. We'll put you up for the night, of course. I've got just the room for you. One that always keeps my head cool in times of trouble. And I put him into the screaming fish room. There's like a bed set up. Rest here, my friend.
In that case, I want to say Genevieve. In a couple days from there, you see a haunted looking, this haunted looking portly man arrives,
Mm.
much the same there. Um, and you can see he's got like a cut along his arm, and very strangely, he is a servant there with like a covered little cup there as he introduces. I'm Lady Genevieve. I'm Grostain. It's we brought a present as your daughter suggested.
And what is that?
It is my blood. It's a high blood's blood.
Mm. Yes, thank you. That is tradition here in Laval. I'll take like the goblet and I'll gesture for someone of my court to like return the favor and provide them a goblet. Not mine, but
Yeah, right,
someone
right, right.
someone from this court's blood.
Yes.
You there.
Yeah. um. Yeah, I don't think you need to roll a will to see that he is more unnerved with you. There's something more kind of otherworldly about
Mm,
the
mhm,
Genevieve and Vivian line, I think.
mhm.
Um, we met with your daughter, and we were hoping that we could convince your folks to aid us as well in uh, protection. Would that would you be open to that? I
What
don't know
did
if
my
you've heard
daughter
about the
say to
kingdoms.
you?
She offered her very she was very supportive of us.
Mm, I see.
She wants nothing but peace, I believe, in the lands. There's many opportunities, you understand, between
Hmm.
between that. So yes, we were hoping that we could convince you to aid us and meet at an accord.
Hmm. She considers it for a while. Um, and Vivian kind of like leans over and says something to her, and they have like a quiet conference. And she says, "Very well. We agree to at least meet and hear this proposal."
Wonderful. Can you make a will check though?
Mm. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's a D20, isn't it?
It is
I'm
a
rolling a
D20.
D100. Just
Well,
like
that's gonna make it less likely you succeed.
14 on 14. I'm not sure
Okay,
if
yep,
that's a
that is
success. Okay.
successful. Um, you got a ring a while, or actually, Marceline got a ring a while
Yes.
back that allowed her to read
Yes.
minds of people. Is that something that Genevieve has continued?
Yes, I would say Marceline gave that to like this must be passed down to each leader kind of
Mhm.
directive. So,
Right. I think there have been enough rumors of such a thing, and you can see that this man Grostain is looking very nervously at that hand with the ring,
mhm.
um, and is keeping his distance. Like
Uh-huh,
he
uh-huh.
sent someone ahead of him to give you the cup and whatnot. Um, but yes, he's clearly happy that you have agreed to help us. Yes, a month hence, we will meet at this Lock Hinge um, place, and I hope that's the same place I told the other one to go. As I'm checking my notes, very
Mhm.
good. I'm seeing nods in the crew. I'm sorry, I've had a bit of blood loss recently. So, I, I I thank you. We hope to see you um, see you soon then. Um, may the dark never see your face,
Mm.
as they
And may
say.
the mother bless you on your travels.
Thank you. And Graustein, yeah, he really like he doesn't even if you offer to be like, "Do you want to stay the night?" It's no, I'm good. I'm peace out. Yeah. Then I will go over there. Over what's your like throne room look like at this point?
It's got all sorts of armaments on the walls, the mounted heads of lesser beasts.
Nice, nice. Then there is someone that shows up and they're a older statesman sort of look to them and they're going to make you basically the same offer. Um, do you think your sister is like underground? She would be tough to find, right?
Yes,
Okay. They'll,
she's leading the resistance forces.
yes, they'll come to you and suggest, hello, mighty Ulver. I'm a representative of Australia. Um, we've heard tales of your great exploits. Um, kind of looking at the beasts around the place. We were hoping that you would turn your mind towards something else, namely that of peace across the kingdom.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful idea. That's exactly what a hero would do. Strive for peace and prosperity. Huh!
Yes, and I think it might be helpful for you to see perhaps maybe the other kingdoms might aid you in resolving this threat that is in your kingdom.
That's right, there's a terrible civil war happening.
I saw traces of it all the way down here. Um, the uh, the announcements and your people. You've done quite a good job of cleaning up after it, though. I've never seen a civil war quite so civil.
Well, you know, people turn to stone when they die horribly.
We're well aware of that, and now's your chance to make a will test. Everybody's
Okay.
making will tests.
Ah, 17.
Okay.
That is not it, Chief.
Yeah, you mentioned about people turning to stone, and there's a look that crosses his face, but he's very experienced where he moves on quickly of yes, even still I do congratulate. It seems that despite the confusion, you are maintaining quite the peace of a sort. We're hoping
That's
you
what a
could.
hero must do.
Yes, great, wonderful. Um, in that case, lock hinge a month hence. He gives you all the details of that. Um, he's looking to leave. Is there anything in particular you're going to ask of him?
Um, I will ask how many of the other kingdoms have agreed to this.
My liege is going up north at the moment. Um, so I don't know yet, but we are hoping that both Celeros and Laval will uh, seek to maintain the mercantile lines amongst the kingdoms. Um, we fear greatly.
Oh, what about Acrilia, Bloodshire, Tord?
Um, the Gludshirians, they would seek this peace as well. Um, our our people will go and talk to them and see if we can bring them along. Toward I don't know that there's anyone left alive there, and the we're not seeking the guidance of the Una
I see.
necessarily. Um, yes, they can stay either within the flats or within the forest themselves. This is a matter for uh, And you can see he stops himself before saying like humanity, because you're obviously like this shale sort of being at this point. You're a step removed. Yes, people like us, obviously.
Right. Well, safe travels on your journey. I'll wink at him, flash him a smile, and give him a thumbs up, all in one motion.
That huh. You just invented that in this world. Well,
I'm a hero. What else?
it's, may the light ever shine on your face. Uh, and he leaves. And Delilah, I mean, at this point, do you let anybody from Australia into your lands?
Yeah,
Be skinned alive. No.
Yeah, I would say
exactly.
for you, there is an incredibly nervous junior statesman sort of feel, like they sent maybe the newest guy there. Um, how are you treating like him as he's a messenger from Australia?
He's treated fine. I think we're going to take him to the church and show him around and
Mhm.
ask what his opinions are on all this.
Um, uh, uh, Diplomatically, I am not allowed to obviously have much of an opinion, but a marvel of architecture, incredible beauty, and look at the people. I mean, the people are so enraptured with you, your works there, Lady Delilah.
No, beauty is sinful. The only thing that can be worshipped is the turning gear. And
Yes.
what I was asking was, what's your opinion on it? Are you supportive? Are you a member? Have you seen the gears spinning in your mind?
Yeah. And this like very like junior, like maybe just like barely a little stash or something coming. It's just like, yes, uh well, I'm amenable to it. I think there's definitely um a way of thinking that could, yeah. And he sees like maybe the gear turns and he sees the head there of the
Yeah.
previous ruler just turning. I think there's it's a striking image, my lord, is my opinion, and I would hope that it would be something we could discuss at Lockhinch in a month.
Oh, perfect. I would love to go there. And I'm going to show him the ship next, the big warship, and I'm going to be like, maybe I should come in this. It's my
Um,
new ship.
yes, actually, that why not? It's a beautiful ship, quite strong. You can fit quite a number of people on there, it seems.
Definitely. But we're the first ones aboard now that it's completed. And
Mm.
I think we have a unique method of keel hauling where
Yeah.
we take the rudder and just spin them under the boat with the rudder. And yeah, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
You're getting
Go
you're
ahead, go
getting
ahead.
keel hauled.
No. Yeah, and that'll be the last bit we see there of him screaming as the waves take him, as the gear turns. And I'd like to know what kind of conversations you've got a month here. What do you guys do with the time?
So I think Ulrich will have a conversation with Ulara
Yeah. Wow. Where do you guys manage to meet?
underground.
Oh, all right. Yeah, one of these like caverns filled with these flowers, because you know that being in the dark is deadly. Like there's something in
Yeah.
there that will kill you, but with these lights you feel
It's a field
safe.
of flowers. Yes.
Yeah. I like that. Um, and it reflects interestingly off that slate skin that you all have. You seem to almost shimmer in it. I can't imagine you're easy to see in the dark. Like just that, and she's there. She's got a weapon of her own, I assume, and
Of course.
maybe there's some people in the back that with weapons of their own as she looks to you. What do you want, brother?
I've come to talk. And this is like Ulrich's voice.
Mm.
How is this possible?
Anything is possible. It's in your blood. Now, we have an opportunity here to advance our powerful nation, our dominion. Because right now, the stage is set. People think we are weak. They are not bothering us. If we keep up this illusion, we can focus inward on ourselves.
You you have driven this country to madness.
It looks like
This
madness, but it's genius. It's only madness for those who don't understand.
you 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 talk like our well father. I guess would they ever even call Ulrich father?
Yeah, I would so. Yeah.
Yeah. You talk like our father exactly. Like you are sick over. You need to step down and let me take charge. The people trust me to at least a degree.
I don't think you quite understand. I raised
You
you.
you are off the run. Yeah. Do you want to do like I don't even think a will check is necessary. Like this information is rattling her and it went from the like we are arguing and you're in over your head to this person is insane. Like you're not sure she really understands the level that you are Ulrich at this point.
Mm. I think I would explain to her that when the previous ruler dies, the mind transference
Mm.
initiates. Except that something went awry. I don't have total control. And I will share information that only she
Yeah,
would know
yeah,
and the father would know,
yeah,
Ulrich.
that makes sense. And once that's done, you see there is that kind of shattering of world because she just thought Ulver was not like quite there, and this is now she realizes she can't even attack or kill without being taken over. There's a
That's right.
fear
If
there.
you kill Ulver, you're
Uh,
next.
Wouldn't it be smarter for you to not to rule from behind? Why should I not lead and you focus on a more perfect like if you're talking the time frame you're talking about if you continue these imperfect transferences, won't you lose yourself entirely after like if you're barely in control now, what will you be in a few?
That may be so, but while I have my power now, we can do our work.
Okay. Um, what
Move
would you
everything underground, prosper underground where those above cannot see.
dark would take us? This
Not if we plant those flowers.
uh, the time span you are talking about
I'm
is
very patient.
God,
This is a plan for self-sufficiency. Don't you understand?
I I I think I do. Um, make a will. I just want to see if she's how much is she willing to go with this?
All right. So I go 50-50. 6 out
All
of
right.
9. Nice.
Well, then for my own life, I suppose I don't have much of a choice since there's not that. So fine. Um, yes, I will begin this, but you need to tone it down. Your civil war is not believable. Like people will start asking where the deaths are. And she's thinking through this very pragmatically, like,
That's good. You were always smarter than Ulver. That's why I need your help. Logistically, get your. How
Okay.
are we going to keep this illusion up? Maybe
We're
we can
going
cut into the production of the.
Yeah, we need bodies.
Yes, we
Yes,
can
we
make bodies, and that involves probably raiding other villagers.
yeah, that's basically what she's suggesting is
Yeah.
a more start grabbing people around the edges of the kingdom. And yeah, she'll even bring up that Abalon would be ideal as a source because they are both nearby and distracted
Yep,
at
we're
the
gonna do
moment.
that then.
Perfect.
When they leave for war, we're gonna start snatching people, turning them into stone.
All right. I like that. A handshake is had in this chamber
We have an
deep below.
understanding. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. What about the other three? What are you doing with this time? Is anybody meeting up, I guess, and discussing?
I think maybe Valthris would like. I don't know if she'd specifically want to meet with Genevieve, but like take like an entourage, or they'd put her in
Mm.
like the dark carriage or whatever, and
Mhm.
ride by this like wall that Genevieve is building. Like,
Yeah.
what is she doing down there? Yeah, just taking stock of the land and yes, mother, things are going to get worse before they get better. I can tell. That kind of stuff.
That. And what I guess how good is that wall, Genevieve? Like how
Um, I think Valthrus's kingdom has better like
Mhm.
stone to work with. So probably not like it's fine. Like I don't know. It's not as good as whatever they'd be building over in Zelaros. We'll say that.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
the craftsmanship is good, but the material maybe isn't as quality.
Gotcha. Well, I think you probably have enough spy people that at least you're hearing that like Valthris did inspect, like she came by but did not discuss with you at all.
Which Genevieve is gonna take as a giant slight. Like,
Hmm.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
and
for sure,
and
Vivian's.
Vivian's just
Yeah,
stoking the flames. She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's just a sign. This is a sign of things to come. She's making moves, sister. She's making moves."
Well, maybe this little little spot where you're thinking of meeting, perhaps this is the time to stamp out the threat.
Yes. And I think Vivian would seek an audience with Valthress to talk with her.
Mm. Well, do you want to be Vivian for this
Yeah,
discussion?
just for this
Please.
discussion, sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Hello, Aunt Vivian.
Valthress, it's good to see you. You're looking quite well.
I wish I could say the same. Welcome to Zelaros.
Thank you
What
very much.
brings you
That
here this fine day?
I have concerns, and I think it's worth speaking with you about them.
Yes,
I
please.
love your mother dearly, my sister. She's close to my heart. I
Mhm.
am concerned about a paranoia grows within her, and maybe an illness of the mind.
Mm.
She consults too often with our oracles who are poisoning her. You've seen the wall being built.
Yes, yes.
I think she is planning something. I think she wants to make moves, and I am pragmatic. We share a small island. I don't think it is wise to be making these moves as she feels she must. And I think that I just want you to be careful.
Well, I appreciate your concern, most certainly, most certainly. I I wondered about that when I saw that pathetic wall that she was attempting to build. Uh, Dreadful, dreadful. You'd think living in the shadow of my father for so long, she would have learned something building, but That's too
Nothing can
bad.
compare to the stonemasonry of Zelaros. We know that in Laval. That's not where our strengths lie. I think she has just become increasingly paranoid. It's concerning, truly. I don't think that a ruler who has sequestered herself away and listened to the, the ramblings of people out of their minds is really, I mean, is that a fit ruler? You tell me.
Hmm. My father, before he passed, often spoke of the whispers he heard in this very room right now. I can tell you that he was not fit to rule, clearly.
Hmm.
So what you say may hold sway. Hmm. Do you hear any whispers now, Aunt Vivian?
No, nothing here.
Nothing. You can hear nothing.
No.
Hmm. That's interesting. That's
Do
very
you?
interesting. I don't think that matters one way or the other right now.
That's fair. Your kingdom, your business, as I like to think.
Exactly, exactly. I appreciate this knowledge, this information you have bestowed upon me. I will be careful when meeting with Mother.
I would be very careful.
Yes, yes. Thank you. If Mother was perhaps to be gone in some way, leaving your kingdom open, her kingdom open, what then? Would you rule?
Yes, I think that, yes, I am the next in line. And I think that that could potentially usher in a new era between our two kingdoms, a more prosperous era. This wall is foolishness. We
Hmm.
tear that down. We build up a trade, a commerce, an exchange of goods, services. There are things I know that you don't necessarily value the work that we do in Laval, but there are things that we can offer to you and your people.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Perhaps it is time for a change after all these years of father's rule.
And the king, what is the kingdom? Sorry, out of character. What's the kingdom across, like directly across from our island? What is that?
The kingdom directly
Like the
across.
purple kind of mountainy,
Those are like the mountains, so there's probably a few small
right?
villages there, but it's not really a kingdom per se.
Okay, okay.
It's pretty loose. They're also radioactive hills,
Oh,
so
good.
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, the people there are probably kind of like hills have eyes sort of
Oh, good.
idea,
Good,
where
good.
it's like they're off, they're off. Yeah.
Besides Lady Valthress, and this island grows increasingly small between our two kingdoms. I think in expansion is in order, and I think
Hmm.
between the two of us, we could have a mutually beneficial arrangement to conquer that wasteland across the way and then continue expansion.
Yes, yes, Aunt Vivian, yes. I think indeed that an accord can be made here. Hmm.
Well, let's I of course I don't want to step on my dear sister's toes. This is not my place, but perhaps one day the two of us may come together and make accords. If such an untimely thing were to happen tragically, of course, I would hate for
Of
that
course, of course,
to come to pass.
of course.
I love it.
Well, you've come so far. Let's put you in for the evening, Aunt Vivian. I have a special room made just for you.
Oh, I know the room you speak of. Everyone does. No, I
It has the
believe my sister
screaming
would
fish.
become even more suspicious in my absence. I think I
Oh,
must return to Laval.
well, suit yourself. The screaming fish room is always available.
Your hospitality is unmatched, dear.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm just imagining there's a sign up sheet out in front and it's just blank.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Just Valthreth.
Yeah. Oh, she's penciled in tonight, huh? All right.
Does Vivian also never sleep as well? Like I can't remember.
I think that's something that continues with the bloodline as we don't sleep.
Yeah, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, that's not worrying at all.
No.
All
No.
right. And then let's let's give Delilah a chance. Delilah, what are you planning for this? Like, you have a little bit of time. You've keel hauled a diplomat, so I think there's a message sent there.
Yeah, now we now christen the ship the Venetrix, just like all our ships are named the same thing.
I like
um,
that.
so yeah, we're getting ready. We're not gonna bust this peace thing wide open if all the other kingdoms are going. So we'll just bring our armada and on the same. Let me look at the map. So where do they want to meet?
So the place they want to meet is actually along the river. It's about 2 hexes to the east of Australia. It's a smaller
Perfect.
city along there. So yeah, you have a very easy path to get to it.
All right, so yeah, I'll just go up there. I guess without the armada because it's just quicker.
Hmm. Right, right, to travel
Um,
over the land.
yeah. So I'll show up.
All right. Is everybody planning to show up for this peace accord? See thumbs, I see thumbs.
Yep.
All
Of
right.
course.
In that case, let's talk a little bit about the town itself. It is out in these shrublands, so think a lot of low hills. This particular spot has been built up a bit, so it's on a hill, and you can see the hill is dotted with smaller buildings here and there that have torches along them,
Mhm.
and there is a what looks like a keep, right? As just a nice square thing with maybe a tower along it and a gate at the front that they lift for you um, very easily. That said, this town, Australia is a big trading sort of partner, right? Is and everywhere you go, there are these pigs, and you see pig pens, you see the signs of these animals, but there are none of them to be seen. There's just people
Mm.
around, and people will rush out to meet, like, obviously servants um, come out to meet those who arrive. I guess who's the first to show?
Balthus will show up first. She's excited. This is something to do.
Of course,
Our
wonderful.
heroes usually show up on times, just in the nick
Yep.
of time. So,
Just in the
hello,
nick of
fellow ruler. How are
Ah,
you?
Lord Oliver, right? I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting before.
I'll give you a hearty handshake if you
I
want to touch this guy's hand.
won't be rude.
That's right.
I've
That would
nothing to,
be unheroic.
and we'll need plenty of corpse stone coming up. Uh, Zelaros is expanding, Lord Oliver.
That's wonderful. I'm
Yes,
proud
yes.
of you.
Well, thank you. That's the most accolades I've ever received from any other human being in my life.
I'll
I
flash you
don't
a
know.
smile, a wink, and a thumbs up.
Wow, I would die for you. That's
Oh, that
no
was
one
easy.
has ever given me any sort of positive reinforcement. That's wow. Okay, great. Good.
and
Balthus will remember that.
Balthus will remember that.
and the two of you are brought into this area. You can see that the inside of the fort here has a large open area where they're putting any animals that you rode here, like if you had a horse or anything.
Mm.
They have tents set up for servants, and they'll offer you rooms in the keep. Um, they'll tell you as well that Grostain will be here to greet you for dinner once everyone has arrived. We'll meet in the Great Hall, and have have the peace talks there. But for
I'm
now, find
definitely
yourself.
I'm definitely bringing my giant sword to dinner.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Are people bringing their weapons along with them?
Yeah, I mean, I've got like my weapons are just these little bone daggers, so I've got
Mm.
maybe like one or two secreted on my body somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
yeah.
Weapons to a peace talk? That's a little unscrupulous. I don't think Oliver would bring a weapon.
Oliver is the weapon.
That's right.
Yeah, probably.
I think I'm like Valthrus. I have that sword from passed down from Marceline, but I'd have some smaller things, not the big showy thing.
I would
So
say I would leave my weapon with my like caravan.
Yeah, yeah. So like kind of out in the yard, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're protecting
And
that. I
it
like
is the
that.
meteor axe.
Of
Nice.
course. Of course. The kind of dramatically styled and everything.
A weapon for a true hero.
All right. Delilah and Genevieve, I think you two would be the next to arrive as well. What does that look like as the two of you meet each other for maybe the first time?
possibly, yes,
I think Genevieve,
maybe.
you
Yeah, I
went
think
with
yeah. I don't know if that was the event where Delilah killed her father, if it was the follow.
I think it might have been actually.
Ooh. So I take Delilah very seriously. Lady Delilah, it's good to see you once again.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
And it
You've
has been
grown
a
up
while.
so much.
Yes, you as well. I have heard about your we have heard about like the expansion, right? Like I don't want to yeah.
Yeah, I
Congratulations
think
on
so.
your expansion and best of luck in your attempts to conquer that area. I support you, of course, full-heartedly.
Hmm.
Wholeheartedly.
Hmm. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Well, you said and is this is an area that's quite important to you, is it not?
Oh, it's the most holy site. It was the site
Mhm.
where my father first received the vision for Craig.
Mm.
Pathetically named.
Yeah. Of course, of course. Well, then I wish you the best of luck. May the mother bless you on this pilgrimage.
She will just, with the mention of some other god, she will just like look at her like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Okay, whatever. I don't
Sure.
remember what you call your god. So, and I'm gonna say Genevieve doesn't know either. So, yeah, she just gives you the blessing of her goddess. So, well, I suppose we should go and dine with the others, yes?
Hmm, are you planning on peace? I thought your island was pretty peaceful.
Yes. I think perhaps some expansion is in order. Mainland, of course. That
Hmm.
radioactive filth across the way is completely ungoverned at the moment. So, a good chance for that. You can tell there's this kind of nervousness to Genevieve, like she's like this anxiousness and this discussion of like peace and yeah.
And
Well, maybe you just need a religious awakening.
Mm. Well, I would love to hear more about that you worship. I'm afraid I know very little about it, but I'd love to hear more.
Yeah.
and Genevieve, you're paranoid, right? So
Oh yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about this and you see Delilah. Delilah, you probably brought some people with you. They're setting up their tents and whatnot. You're looking around at all the servants that came from Australia, and they all seem very nervous. Um, and something else is bugging you about them. Can you make a will? We're only doing
Certainly.
will checks
Two.
in this
So yes.
session. Okay. you see some of them stopping to cough, or a few of them rubbing, and you can see like flashes of slate skinned and whatnot.
Mm.
It seems like all of the servants here are sick in some fashion, or they don't look well, at the very least.
Mm. Well, dear, I would keep a distance. It looks like the people of Australia are some class of disease making its way through the servants here.
Yeah, when she points that out, it's easy for Delilah to see that as well.
Did we lose Delilah?
Oh,
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 no, there
nope,
you are.
there.
You're
There.
so good at being still. I thought you were frozen.
Nope.
Just
Um,
unmuted, yeah.
yeah, I will just think, well, sickness is a sign of impure thoughts.
A weakness. A weakness spreads through this land.
Exactly.
All right. Well, they will show you your rooms as well, and if you are ready for dinner, as it's tough to say night, right? Because there's not really a sun cycle to go to, but at some point they'll get to at the dinner time, and they'll offer a. If you would join us in the hall, we'll begin our talks, and they'll show you this the hall that they're bringing you into. It's basically two long tables there, and you can see there's one up top. It's like a third, so it makes kind of a U shape. They're all at the same level, so that everybody's equal, everybody's chill. Um, the tables there look like they have seats set up for the four of you as well, in this torchlight sort of thing, and they each have like a servant there. Um, what do you think they've set up each of your areas to look like to make them comfortable for you?
I would say for Valthrus, they know she sits on the bone throne. So maybe they've taken like a pig carcass or something and carved it up into like this like chair area for me, even though I'm like disgusted by that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's leather. Yeah, yeah, pig
Yeah,
leather.
but
Yeah,
she'll take a seat. Mm.
nice, excellent.
I think people are a little still fearful and spiteful of what Ulrich did. So it's just like a plain chair.
Not comfortable at all. It
Nope.
wobbles a little. Yeah.
Oh
It
no.
is it less good than just every other chair in
I
there?
think
Like
so, yeah.
it is
Yeah.
the worst
Damn.
chair.
Damn.
It's a two-legged stool.
I don't know what I did to offend the Krillians.
Okay, I like that.
I think
Genevieve or Delilah?
they've
Yeah.
tried to like make it look nice and like luxury, but like because yeah, Genevieve wears like silks and furs, but it's like they probably don't have anything of that measure. So they've tried, but it's like eh. And they've like tried to make like a little place mat, like or a name card for her seating and make it look like pretty. But again, it's like yeah, these people don't spend time on the arts, so it's like there's an effort, but it's like yeah.
I like
Like
that.
something you would kind of regard with the amusement of your kindergartner bringing you something home from school. Like, okay, that's so nice. Thank you.
I like that a lot. It's yeah, maybe it once maybe like years ago you would have traded for that in Laval, but it's hopelessly out of fashion at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Right? And Delilah.
Yeah, I think that they tried to make a nice wooden chair for me, um, but they have left out any religious symbolry from it,
Mm.
so I hate it.
Okay. I like that. So they've set this all up. They are serving it looks like cooked pig, like pork dishes. That's what they're known for. They're
In the
serving
middle of the
these up.
dinner, my chair leg snaps.
Oh, come on. Um, but they have set up, so there's these tables, right? And the third one is set up for Grostain, it looks like. But he is not present. There is just one of those like sort of platters with a covering on it there.
Mhm.
And he has not shown up.
Mm.
But the servants are serving you. The torches are kind of flickering back there, so over that might bother you a little. I don't know, but they're going. What did the four of you talk about?
Mother, good to see you.
My dear daughter, how? Tell me what news of Zelaros?
Oh, the usual, people constantly talking about some sort of uprising, this or that prattle. Father kept them quite in line, perhaps too much, but I wonder if there was not wisdom in this. Allowing the lower bloods to go about their own business seems to have less than desirable results.
Yes, you do have to keep the low bloods in line. I have full faith that this is something that you will rise to the occasion for, my dear.
Yes, well, I am my father's daughter.
You truly are.
And tell me of Laval. It seems like you're building some sort of structure.
Ah, yes, our structure. You know, we just had the beautiful temple erected several years ago, and I just felt like more architecture was in order, just as something to just an architectural feature, really.
Wow. I have often mused about my upbringing in Zelaros and how it
Mm.
was a land made without beauty of any kind. It was made for a purpose, and that purpose was not to be beautiful. I wonder,
Well, please.
I simply wonder what life would have been like had I grown in Laval with you and Grandmama.
Oh, these things, it's never too late, my dear. We could perhaps it's time for Zelaros and Laval to come together and share.
Hmm. I would worry, however, that your kingdom is. How do I put it? There are dissenting voices in amongst your ranks. This bothers me. Why, I've heard many conflicting reports.
I feel, yeah, Genevieve is like shaken by this, and it feels like she doesn't know like what to. Well, Valthres, I think perhaps not in current company, but perhaps you and I may speak more freely later, alone.
Oh, if I'm in
Indeed.
the way, please, I'll
Get
step
out.
up.
He's sitting between us. It's fine.
It's only polite.
All I'll say, Mother, is to do look to your own family and friends before you look elsewhere for dissenting voices. Those closest to you are often the ones that seek your downfall the hardest.
Love it, love it. Yeah, you can see her like deeply contemplating this and
Yes, yes.
like kind of fiddling with a ring on her finger and thinking.
Lord Overlord, what do you think of the pork?
It's quite well.
Well,
I
tell us.
typically like high protein, less fat, more leaner meat.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Lord Ulver. I had heard some terrible rumors coming out of your land about a conflict. It
There is
seems
a
like you're
conflict.
well, you're doing well, so I'm glad to see that.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you had any advice on how to handle civil war.
Oh, goodness. Well, the strong must persist. A show of strength, really, I think is what's in order.
I don't think I have the heart to hurt innocent people, though. That's just cruel.
Well, what's at the heart of this civil war, Lord Ulver? That's what you must get to, the heart of the problem, not the symptoms.
Hmm. I haven't really thought about that.
And what symptoms have there been?
Uh, well, there's a lot of revolts. It's my sister. I haven't been in contact with her at all. But I know she's behind this. She was always a scheming type.
Family is difficult on the best of days.
Very true.
And
Have you ever thought about casting her and her supporters into a volcano?
I'm sure there's a peaceful option. That's what a hero would do. There's always a peaceful option in these things. Just got to make the
Then
right choices.
perhaps it's time to meet with your sister and for accords, treaties.
Well, that's why we're here, aren't we?
It's true.
It's
Perhaps
very,
perhaps your sister could seek her own lands to rule if there's a conflict of leadership, or if you feel as though, there's a desire for her to rule. Perhaps it's time for her to strike out on her own.
that would be a peaceful resolution. That's a great idea.
and I'd like people to make a will check just as they're sitting around
Yeah,
chatting.
where is our host?
Yes, where is that
I failed the will check.
disgusting man?
Damn.
Success.
All right. All right. Success. Genevieve, how'd you do?
Yes, success.
Okay. All right. Everyone but Ulver then. You are waiting, and it does probably come up like, where is Grosstein? And you just see that seat up there with the covered thing. But you also see like a little bit of dirt fall from the ceiling. There's like a small rumble in the room, and the servants that are there are all eyeing each other. Um, and they seem extremely nervous. And in fact, one of them um, will say, which one of yours? The one near Ulver, in fact, just books it out of the room. You just see they kind of make eyes with the others and just hoof it. And the others kind of start towards them, but then they go back behind, like they're all clearly very nervous.
And our host is not here, correct?
He is not there.
I'm gonna grab one
My.
of them and ask them what is the meaning of this.
And yeah, you're face to face with this person. I'm sorry, my liege. I don't know what you mean. Is the food
Uh,
not to your liking?
well, I was hoping that I would see your king to show him this, and I'll take out the head of the guy.
Uh, yes, of course. Of course. And there's like a little bit of blood in this cough as they're looking. I'm so sorry, my uh yes, I'm sure he would like if you could just put it up by his seat, I suppose, my lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking at him like, what the fuck?
Uh please just if you
I'm talking about the rumbling, idiot.
what about the rumbling, and the other two across there kind of like giving the look to him. Valthrus and Genevieve especially can see this.
Well, if they're giving him a look, I'm gonna take my giant sword and cleave one of them in twain.
Oh jeez. The
That's
close
unfortunate.
Yeah, Which one are you doing? Are you doing the one you've got grabbed, or are you like going across the table to another?
Yeah, to another one, not the one I have grabbed.
Okay. Uh, you go up. They're quite easy to do, and as you go up and cleave the one, he the one that's about to get cleaved just shouts, Just do it! Just do it!" And you see the one remaining that's not grabbed goes out and douses the light behind so Delilah where you were basically is they'll run up and douse that light. And the rumbling is getting stronger as you just skew this person. And the four of you can see the remaining servant is trying to run to douse more of the lights. And it
I
occurs to you there aren't
I
a
whip
lot.
out daggers, like throw them into that guy who's running.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Yeah.
It's
Something
yeah.
something is afoot.
Yeah. So Delilah, what's it look like? You just this sword you have, you skewer one.
I'm just chopping him completely in half.
Yeah.
Vertically or
Oh,
horizontally?
that's a good
Vertically, yeah,
question.
vertically.
Oh,
Vertically,
okay, good,
just
good, good.
Bifurcation.
hot dog style.
Exactly.
The pieces fall apart, and the one in your hand, he shouts his name, but who cares at this point?
Larry!
Yeah.
It's another
Craig,
Craig.
no!
No,
Craig!
You bastards. As this person that Delilah's doing, and yeah, Valthris, you throw your daggers and just absolutely annihilate this person. Roll the they do they call it agility? Roll dexterity, please, just
Dexterity.
to see if he's able to get to another light.
Ooh, that is unfortunately a failure on that.
All right. You throw it and you manage to take this person out, but not before they manage to douse the light like right
Mhm.
behind Ulver. Their blood splatters out and sizzles against this torch that they knock over. And now the only servant left is in the hands of Delilah, and he's just like spitting. You bastards will get what you deserve.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite his throat out with my teeth.
Wow.
Spurt. Yeah, Delilah's covered in blood at this point. Does Delilah have like sharp teeth? Delilah's kind of like
Oh
interesting
yeah.
looking.
She's like a mutant. She has kind of
Yeah.
like dolphin teeth.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, don't want
that's
to get bit by a dolphin.
that's evocative.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And so you're in this room. It is dark along one half, and the ground just bubbles up in the middle. And these hands, they're like kind of like almost gopher hands, are pulling out. But there's something very human about them as you see the face of Grozar, but manipulated and pulled, stretched taut across some form underneath it. The previous
Nice.
king of Australia, his teeth are massive and gnashing, and he barely seems like there's a glimpse of human in the face, but you see as well like one of those digging hands is just a stump as he's pulling himself into this room. This being is now gigantic. And
Awesome.
yeah, let's
And
let's
us
see
without our weapons.
combat wise. It crossed my mind.
This is
Um
when the metal music needs to queue up on the video, like,
yeah.
because that's sick as hell.
Boss fight.
You've you know what? You've
Do we have
been
a
a
picture of this thing?
you know what? Let me post a picture that they have for the glutton.
The
Um
glutton.
so imagine this but with a little bit more like people skin to it, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it's pulling itself out. It kind of looks like the
Hmm.
guy in Beetlejuice, right? With that
It
long,
does.
yeah, like the
Mhm.
pulled out face.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a bit of that. And yeah, you can see like in his teeth, there's very clearly pig flesh. You think you now know why there are no animals in this area as it's pulling itself out, and I am looking at its initiative. And let's see. With all four of you, I'm missing a die. This is terrible. All right. Amongst the group, uh, someone gets to go first. Who amongst you would like to take the first action? I didn't get special dice for each of you. Like I said, I would.
Mm-mm. So can we have a picture? So we're in like a
Yeah,
hall, basically, like a dining hall.
right. Think of it, yeah,
And
kind of
everyone's
a
fled this, or they tried to flee anyway. Okay.
exactly. There's none of them are left because Delilah
Right.
took care of two of them. Think basically these tables just make a U shape, and then this thing is broken out in the middle of them roughly. And we'll say the western side of the hall, just for ease of use, both of those lights are out. And
Okay.
you know that that would have been very bad if they'd managed to take
Hit
out
all of
all
them.
of the
Yep.
lights, right?
And are there weapons hanging? I know sometimes like these castles have like
Uh,
swords, axes,
ooh.
things hanging on the walls.
It
Chainsaws.
is it is
Chainsaws,
conspicuously bare, but you
Fair,
know
makes
that
sense.
if you made a run for it, they probably, with the people they have, if they're like trying to lock you in, you might be
Uh-huh.
able to get out before that and get to weapons.
Okay.
All right. So yes, one of you will go.
Hold on. Let me get my axe. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and run to my axe.
BRB. Yeah. To arms.
Yeah. You race out of the room, it sounds like. So, Ulver, you're rushing outside of this room, and you're seeing that there is a fight breaking out. Various members of your entourages are lying dead on the ground, but they're also fighting back, right? So, uh, it's unclear at this point of exactly who's winning, but there is a quiet
They're being
fight.
attacked by Acrylians.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
I'm gonna just football charge them to
All
get to
right,
my axe.
I like it. Go ahead and make a dexterity. Just
How about strength?
sure, yeah, that's true. You're just powering through
Yabba dabba doo. No, 10.
them. Yeah, that's probably enough. Is you just
10 under 15.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm built.
So you are able to get to your hammer there. Um, you can see like there were they were protecting that, perhaps your people most. But yeah, you probably take out a few just rando low bloods. Who cares? They barely matter. All right.
Wow.
Then it is another character's turn. One of yours. Who would like to go?
I'll go. Yeah, I think this is definitely Valthris knows this is above her pay grade. So she's gonna probably run towards her entourage too, out of this room or whatever.
Mhm.
If she sees them engage with people, like if she sees her entourage engaged with people, she will attack the servant people.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do a dex or strength, depending on how you are like running through and taking them out.
I would, even though I have less dex, I'm gonna go dex.
Okay.
So, ooh, that's an 18 over 10.
All right. How are the low bloods, pathetic though they are, able to slow down you?
It's like there's just so many of them, and Valthris is still a child, so like, right? She's still. Are we still child range or where are we
Young
at?
adult, maybe.
You tell me. Yeah.
I don't know. She's like
Might be.
17, so she's only like eight and a
The
half feet
precipice.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Right.
like they just kind of like there's too many of them
Yeah. Yeah.
as she's trying to move through, and she yells to her entourage, "Kill this rabble, and I shall make of you lords."
Oh, I
To
like
all
that.
of the servants.
We'll see. Your rabble is having trouble. I'm afraid is their morale's a bit low, but possibly next turn. Um,
Mhm.
inside the room, Genevieve and Delilah, this thing just starts to dig through the room um, towards the both of you. See, I've been playing too many of these. I believe with a defense, you just subtract the armor. So this thing is going to do damage to the two of you as it's tilling up the ground. So 4 damage as it just
Okay.
busts apart the room. You see these tables are being knocked over left and right. Don't forget to subtract your armor value should you have it.
Yeah.
And
And I have, I'm sorry, you said 4?
4.
4. And I have this from our last battle. I have this singed hate cloth. It says
sick.
every time I am attacked and take damage, my attacks deal an additional +2 damage for the rest of combat. So that's something I need to keep in mind. But
yeah.
It hurt.
That's dope as hell. What do those look like? You said they're singed claws?
hate cloth. Like
Oh.
it's something we took from like the last creature we killed. So it's this like chest piece, I think, that I've had my smiths work in something
Mhm.
actually pretty out of it. But yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
All right. I like that. Yeah. How's Delilah take that as this thing is just knocking the room apart, basically?
Um, I'm impressed with Genevieve's armor, and I am going to use my thing that I got, which was the wishbone.
Mhm.
I believe, if I remember correctly. Uh, and I'm going to attack twice with the D4 damage
Oh,
for each
shit.
one, just while thinking that, wow, 2 of these people just cowardly ran away. What the fuck?
Your father's fought worse than this.
Exactly. Like I'm just, come on, mid.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, so that's a total of 4 damage.
Okay. All right. Nice. Is that just like the wishbone is something that lets you attack when you're attacked?
It, oh no, no, no. This is on my turn.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's perfect. So what's that then look like as you're just digging into this massive weird creature?
Yeah, I'm using my giant sword to just attempt to slash into Grozar's stretched weird face because I always hated him.
Yeah. It seems that the feeling was mutual, perhaps, as you're
Yeah.
slashing into him. All right. In that case, Delilah, it is your turn. Or I'm sorry, not Delilah. I said Genevieve.
Genevieve.
There's too
Yeah.
many names.
Okay. I said I did not have, I did
Hmm.
not bring my swords, but I did have a couple of daggers. So I will take a stab at this thing.
All right, roll damage.
All right. And so with the +2 on top of the D4, it's only 4 damage.
Okay.
Can I like break it off inside of this thing, maybe for like a little bit of bump and damage, something like
Sure.
that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I buy that.
whatever you feel like is fair, maybe like a 1 or a 2 or something bump.
No, do a D4. I think
Okay.
that's fun.
Extra 4 damage. Holy shit.
All
So,
right. So where do you like break this off in the creature?
like, and it's kind of in its chest where I don't know. I'm just guessing where its heart might be. So I'm going for that.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's correct, who knows? But
I
yeah,
like
and
that.
it's kind of chest.
Yeah, and you fought creatures that have like armor and things before, and this one doesn't seem to be. It's just flab, like
Flesh.
it's
Yeah.
flesh and fat and meat, and you're stabbing into it as it then is going to just kind of swipe you, I think, Genevieve, and try and just throw you across the room for 6 damage.
Damn. Okay. So I will destroy the chest piece and save
Yep.
1 damage, but I'll take it. So it's 5. Okay. But I am, not looking good.
All right. And this creature is just screaming now in it's a little bit of pain but the size of it is worrying. It is a player's turn at the top of the next round.
So I'm still outside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I will begin putting on my armor
Oh,
while fighting
excuse me.
off
Yeah.
Acrylians with one hand.
Okay.
Just actually just shoving them.
Yeah, honestly, with your weapon in hand and stuff, none of the low bloods are at this point doing it. You've overcome them. So yeah, you're able to get
Back, you
into your armor.
fiends!
My
The
lord,
the
it's a
the
trap.
king turned himself into a monster just to destroy us. Such hatred! It must be conquered.
You're hearing the sounds of digging in that room. Um,
One
you
moment.
yep.
I put on another boot.
Inside the room, you see the creature just puffs up its chest, and then um, it looks like it's preparing to just expel some sort of reverberation. You've run into this before with creatures that can scream loudly. But you have a second someone in the room, maybe, can take their turn.
I'm not doing well. I'm probably at this point kind of like retreating a little
Yeah,
bit, so
yeah.
limping. So I figured I'll let Delilah. You're muted, so or you were anyway.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to cut his vocal cords before he can talk.
Okay, okay, yeah.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
that is very awesome. Go ahead and see. They have a number. Um, Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I got 4 again.
Yeah, I want to have a roll to see how well you do with that. Do you want to do like a dexterity or strength? Like how are you doing this cut to target specifically?
Well, I got a 4, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm just using uh like my brutal strength because Delilah is very strong
Mm-hmm.
to just saw its throat in half
I like
with
that.
my massive sword.
Yeah. So you rolled 4 damage. What'd you get on the strength?
Yeah, I got a pass
Okay.
4
Okay.
as
Yeah,
well.
you're like cutting into this thing's throat and you're making progress. Like you're cutting, you can see the fat is going, but it's just even with that, it's not quite enough damage as you're just about to reach it and you hear this thing caw loudly. And in fact, Genevieve, you feel the air push past you. Those in the grounds um, feel like a lot of the low bloods just fall over from it. Delilah, make a will save.
Oh, that's not my strong suit. Oh, yeah, no, fail.
And I mean, at this point, your ear burst, your like eardrums just blow out.
There's just blood everywhere.
Yeah, right, right. You're bleeding from there, so you will be stunned next round. Um, and let's see who's left. Valthres, it is your turn.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna work my way and slaughter whatever low bloods are fighting with my servants, and we're gonna make our way to the like whatever our carriage or uh, the stuff
Mhm.
where we came from,
Yeah, yeah,
like towards
absolutely.
the courtyard.
Yeah,
Go to the carriage.
and with the focus, yeah, on the people, yeah, you're just absolutely annihilating a few of them. To
Mhm.
get to your weapon, you shout for the carriage. Give me a will test for your people, basically.
That is no good.
All right. Uh, maybe
16 over 11.
there's not enough of them left. Maybe they're still fighting people, but they're having trouble preparing the carriage, right? Like you can get to
Mm.
it, but it won't have been uh,
Yeah.
prepared yet. Okay,
Yes.
we are back to. Oh dear, there goes the dice. slinging them all over. Delilah, in front of you, this monster, you've been like knocked back a bit. It just digs into the ground again. So you basically have this mound of dirt and a tunnel digging down that you can just see dirt flying back out of. And then it is the four of yours turn. So what are people doing?
I think I was retreating and going for my carriages to try to get a weapon, and I think maybe we would have. It makes sense to me that I would have
Mhm.
come with at least some kind of medicine. It doesn't have to be anything super
Oh, yeah,
fancy, but
yeah.
maybe I see I'm looking at like the medicine stats here,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
possibly some recovery on my end. So I'm
yeah.
running for
I
my
like that.
carriages basically.
Yep. Okay.
Is there a stained glass window I can smash through at an action of a moment, action packed moment?
I have some of my servants. I'm like, get that man a stained glass window and like, walk out with it.
Ah!
So it sounds like Ulver is trying to like burst back into the room, right?
That's right.
And yeah, you burst in, you can see Delilah standing there bleeding out of the ears and this like mound of dirt just building up. This thing is underground somewhere.
Oh, I'm looking for something to attack. Where'd it go?
All right.
And then Delilah's probably like, "What?"
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just clutching my ears; they're bleeding.
Is
right,
everyone
yeah.
okay?
No.
I'll ready my meteor axe
Okay.
in order to play whack-a-mole.
All right. Excellent.
Actually,
And
you know what? This is perfect because instead of doing that, I'm going to charge up my weapon.
Nice.
that's awesome. I like it. Is that everybody then? Because Delilah, you're stunned, unfortunately, for the round. But
I will
yeah,
grab
Balthus.
my special trunk that I brought with me off the carriage, and it's like a big steamer trunk. But since I'm 8.5 feet tall, yeah, I'll carry that into like rushing back into the keep. So
Okay. All right. Ulver, underneath you, you're charging this up, and you feel the ground just like pushes around, and then the floor basically drops out under you. Go ahead and make a dex check for me, please.
Oh, I failed.
All right.
11
Attack.
out of 9.
Uh, Holy cow. 7 damage.
Ouch. Armor value. I've got a armor
You've
value.
got armor. Yep.
Good thing I put on my armor.
Very much.
6. So I take
Okay.
1 damage.
Holy cow.
nice.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Ulver, you're now like pulled into the earth with this thing.
Ooh.
Ah, the
And-
bards will tell stories of this fight.
He says as his head then under the
Yep, and then I'm
under the
gone.
surface. All right. Let's see. Next round. Um, we're gonna continue with Ulver for a moment there.
Mhm.
As Ulver, you
Oh,
are
boy.
being dragged along the ground, like underground. You can feel yourself being pulled.
So I'm like burrowing, or did
Yeah,
I fall
you're
into a
like
cavern?
literally it pulled you underground and it's just dragging you along in the dirt.
Wow.
Go ahead and yeah, the others can like feel it underfoot moving. Take 10 damage, but obviously reduced by
Uh-huh.
all that as
Oof.
yeah, you're just feeling bits of this dirt here knock against you.
Ah!
There's like you're pretty clearly running across like pig bones and stuff as you're just hitting this around. This thing's been
I'm
here for a
very
while.
glad I put on my armor.
Yes. It is one of your guys' turn. Would someone like to do something?
I'm still underground.
Yes.
So is there a breakout mechanic, or do I just like hit it?
You could if you hit it, I think I would say
I'm gonna
you can.
smash it with my charged hammer.
All right.
Axe thing. So
All
that's
right.
3d8 damage.
Okay, I am gonna give it a little armor just because it's you're being dragged, but I love that image of you just
Oh yeah.
slamming it.
It does 10 damage, and I will say that the lethal end, the masterwork blood metal axe on a roll of
Yeah.
+5, it reduces the armor by 1.
Okay. All right. I like that a lot. As you just smash in, what
Let
does it
go of me,
look
you
like?
foul beast.
Yeah, so it's
And it's like,
digging. Yeah. And yeah, you feel like a crunch in this thing's hand that it was grabbing you with. You
so if it lets
definitely,
go of me while
yeah.
I'm underground, am I just like, oh, well,
I'll
now
say,
what?
huh. Yeah, yeah.
Your way out.
Yeah. Um, I will say because it is its turn next, um, basically what the others see is this thing just busts out of the ground, kind of in the courtyard actually, like right near that entrance, and you can see Ulver's like hammer pulling out, like
Yeah,
you're right near the
if it
surface.
lets go of me, I'll
Yeah,
grab onto
it
its
does.
back.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll kind of ride it out. Ooh.
Yeah, I like that is yeah, you pull out, you see Ulver looking a bit worse for the wear, but this thing's hand is like mangled at this point. What would the other three like to do in this moment?
Grab my sword and apply some first aid if possible.
Please do, yes, if you have those rules.
And yes, I do. How long is a round?
That is a great
A plot
question.
convenient amount of
That
time.
yeah,
Because it
a
does say how
good
long it takes to apply medicine.
a
So
8
good
minutes.
a good GM would be able to tell you
sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the
immediately.
spot.
Um, I would think around is just one go through for people.
Yeah. Well, it's saying like medicine takes a minute. So I didn't know like if that's gonna
Oh. Um, yeah, I don't it's fine. It's fine.
okay.
That's what I'll
All right.
say.
It's
It's
I,
fine.
fine.
I apply some medicine. I have,
Yeah.
we'll say, like a really deep cat gash across my like torso, like my corset's kind of like ripped open a bit, and I grab my sword and I'm ready to head out in the next round.
I
So
like it. Yeah, you'll have some assistance. We'll say
yeah, yeah.
that's how you're able to do it is your
Sounds good.
fellow Lavalites are there with you helping. So yep, that's you, Delilah or Valthris.
I would say Valthrust would get into this room now. Is the beast in the room with us now? I'm trying to.
Yeah, basically it's probably right by you as you were running back in because it looks
Mhm.
like it's going out towards more people.
Okay. I'm gonna set up my chest like in front of it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pull out a dagger or whatever, and I'm gonna like try to wave it towards me.
Okay. All right. Make a will save us or a will check. See
Oh,
how
actually, good.
successful.
Will 3 under 13.
Okay. All right. It's weird distended nose like turns towards you. It's definitely looking at you,
Does
Delilah.
it look does it look hurt at all?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, great.
The it's basically halfway-ish. Like the
Yeah.
especially with Ulver attacking, like Ulver's a beast. This thing,
Yeah, straight up.
like, yeah, it's hurting.
Okay, great.
Delilah, what about you?
I'm gonna try to cut the rest of its throat out.
Okay, I like that. So you're in that weird like silence just running up. Go ahead and roll damage.
5.
Okay. I like that. As you are like cutting into its neck, you feel the tension of the vocal cords being like cut against your blade. And we are up to a new round as we have. All right. Um, three of you will get to go first. Who
Hmm.
would like to go? I suspect Ulver will be last for reasons.
I'll charge. I've got my weapon. I feel more confident. I'm charging back into the fight. So
Okay. I like it. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. Is a sword, do we want to say like D6, D8? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know that we've ever
D6 is
established
fine.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
D6 is probably fine.
All right. And I'm assuming, I'm sorry, now I'm getting into the rules a little bit. So the hate
Yeah.
cloth, I kind of destroyed it, right?
Okay.
I'm assuming that means the bonus damage is like negated from this point on. Just want to make sure I'm clear
I
on-
would think so,
Yeah.
yeah, if you
Okay.
destroyed
That's
it.
fine by me. All right, 6.
Okay.
Just like
Sick.
plunge it in its side.
Just yeah, and it's got that like kind of distended belly in the
Mhm.
picture that you can
It
see is
yeah.
yeah, stuff starts to pour out of that it's you've got that like acidic smell to it. All right. 2 of you before it does something. Who's doing something?
I am waiting for it to come to me. So
Yep.
whenever it does that,
I'm gonna back off.
Okay. You're backing away.
No,
Delilah? Yeah.
simply catching my breath.
Spit out some dirt. That's true. Delilah, you already did something that okay, perfect. In that case, Valthris, it's racing towards you. It's going to hit you.
yeah.
But what's the chest? What's the thought there? Is it's like raking its hands down and I'm rolling damage for it. What do you think happens? What do you pray happens?
Man, this is a big swing. So right as it's attacking, I open the chest, and inside is the limbless body of Valthros the Builder, removed from his tomb and kept alive in this chest. And right as the thing is swiping down, I slit his throat, causing his exothermic organs to explode outwards.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's
Oh man.
that's
That's
hella
incredible.
cool. I'm just
Wow.
gonna I rolled absolutely garbage on the damage, and I think like it barely nicks you. Go ahead and roll the explosion because that's gonna do more to you potentially than anything.
Oop.
Oh, that is phenomenal. I rolled an 18 on 2d10.
Oh,
So
shit.
So you are right next to this
You
thing.
just straight up die.
I might straight up die. I don't
That's
know.
badass.
But like,
Holy
hey, man, you know.
I have to throw myself into this now.
I
I'm
think you can
gonna
destroy armor to like at least save some of that, right? So,
yeah, I
sorry.
think you might be able to. Um
You gotta go out, man. You gotta go.
We all gotta go
all
sometime.
right, so
Yeah,
you're
straight
taking
up.
18. Did
Woof.
Valthris do anything to negate this,
Now
like knowing this?
I would think that she would have like lined this box at least with something.
Mm-hmm,
So behind it she would take less damage.
Oh, it's like a direction, one
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
claymore mine,
claymore.
like a human claymore mine. Yeah. But it does say that his exothermic organs, it's a 20-foot blast radius.
Oh my god.
So you tell me. I think it's badass as shit. But
It
It's
very
badass
much
as shit.
I'll take
Allow
it.
it. Allow it.
Why
it's
don't you take half?
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
my ruling would
Do
be.
that. Yeah, do that.
That's
As
fine. That's
take
fine.
half. You're very smart as a kingdom about building things. Delilah's probably gonna get a little like eyebrows. Does Delilah have eyebrows? I don't know, mutant wise. No.
No, she has
Bald.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Three
she's
eyebrows.
Putting fire into my gills.
She's completely hairless and all of it. It does not sleep. Yeah, I'll take whatever damage you want to throw at me. That's
Yeah,
fine,
take half of that.
but you got it.
So 9 damage as the chest then like it probably your arm that you had used is the part that like just gets obliterated almost in this like I don't know that you'll lose it necessarily, but
Replace it with an axe.
yeah, it's definitely like shredded by this explosion. You're thrown back. This creature, yeah, how's Valters doing?
I was gonna say I'll take if she took half damage, she's still up.
And then we got armor.
I'll take dismembered arm. That's a fair
Yeah,
trade.
yeah. Let's do
It's
that.
gone, stunned and knocked down. So
Yeah.
blows my arm off.
that
Man,
is
I have to
dope
one
as
up that.
hell. Yeah, as you see this creature just get nuked basically from the front. The skin on its face is peeled off at this point. There's very little of Grozar left, and I mean, obviously, collateral damage wise, people that were out on the field at a 20-foot blast are reeling from this explosion. Um, I mean, it's stunned. It's barely alive, dragging itself around. Who's left? Who hasn't taken a turn? I think Valtris, you were it. So,
I'm out, yeah.
all
I think
right.
Delilah. I don't know that Delilah or Ulver have gone yet.
Well, the new round, so anybody can
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yep, anybody can go.
I am stunned and knocked down, so
Okay.
that is what I'm doing.
Fair.
Try to
Fair.
finish it off.
Yeah, charge
Okay.
it. Charge the beast.
Do it.
If you don't, I certainly will.
You said it first,
Oh.
Delilah. Get in there.
Yeah.
8 damage total.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it look like as Delilah takes out the previous ruler of Australia?
So I think my sword has been completely blown apart by the explosion, and I just take the broken end of it and like cut his head completely off just from the spine.
Oh my god. So and it's
Nice.
huge. I love it. I love it. Just rip back and you have like the bits of human and the bits of it's messy, but you have the head of this creature in your hands. And at that point, like the Australians, the few that remain, start to try and flee.
Mm-mm. No.
Them alive.
Seize them.
It's
Ah!
Turn
pretty
them-
villainous to shoot them in the back.
Turn them to corpse stone.
No, I like that Genevieve especially is like, no, no.
Yeah.
So I think let's get a dex just from people as to see if anybody escapes.
I failed again.
Okay.
Failed. I think. Hold on. Let me
Failed.
double check my specs.
10
Yes,
out of
fail.
9. That's tough.
Yeah, you get a lot of them, but you're
But some get
worried
away.
that some definitely got away, maybe even before some of this even started. You're worried, so you're pretty sure Australia is going to get news of what happened here. But the dirt settles. I will send you the list of things. What's going on between the four of you and your retinues at this moment? I mean, the ground is fucked up.
Ground's
That's-
fucked up. I'm gonna help Valthris to her
Ugh.
feet. Mighty fine work there, partner.
Oh, thank you. I got blood out of my. Like, mother, I finally found a good use for father.
Well done, Valthras. Well done. You and I'm calling for my physician. Tend to her.
A corpse stone
Yes.
prosthetic is exactly what you need.
Maybe.
You won't be able
Yes.
to move the fingers.
Yeah.
I wanted a fist for punching people.
Yeah,
An
you can
axe,
have it.
just an
Yeah,
axe. Just
yeah.
Yeah, Valtris, you're very glad that Laval has these academics now as they're starting to wrap your wound, your shredded arm.
We were set up by these rebels, this low blood. And
some
to
of them have escaped.
That is such a cunning plan, though. The king hated us so much that he turned himself into a monster just to kill us. He failed, of course. And I'll flex again.
with
I have
dark,
my armada already to take him out if no one objects.
Go forth, Delilah.
Well, let's
Eliminate
hold
them.
our horses here. Who gets the land and the territory?
So where is this land exactly? That's probably an important point to make
Yeah,
on the map.
it's very central. So if you see where Australia is,
Mhm.
it's kind of at the crook of the river there, which is
Mm.
a pretty powerful place. And uh yeah, I think like this would, if you're thinking attacking, this makes you think they may be more ready for war than you initially had hoped, perhaps, Delilah. But I like the idea as you're talking of like, no, no, this is beyond the pale.
May I use the may I cape the murder beak shield for myself?
Of course.
By all means, I'll take the plume. Very fitting.
Got a little feather.
A little better.
Little jaunty feather in your cap.
Mhm.
All right. I like it. Yeah, as you start to basically pull apart the monster as you are so used to doing, what's the thought? Like looking around, I think Genevieve and Valthris, you're pretty badly wounded. How's Delilah doing?
I'm okay. I just got hit with 4 damage, and I have armor,
Oh,
so
great.
I'm doing pretty well. Although my ears are probably completely destroyed.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say is you'll need to get something in there if you want to hear again.
Like an ear horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What's that?
If you're interested in it, if you'll accept it, I'll tell my physician to attend you once he's finished with Valthras. You can wave
I'm
him off if
okay.
you
I'll
don't want
just
it.
pray.
Yeah.
I'll pray. I'll pray
No, that's good.
the ears to work again,
I
and
like
I
it.
think I'll take the burrowing suit.
Mm. Yeah, and you notice as you're like pulling apart those hands that Ulver had mangled, like this thing really was digging with a stump, and that and you do remember that Ulver long ago spiked one of the guy's hands.
Ulrich, yeah.
Ulrich, yes, I'm sorry. They seem so similar to me for some reason.
What monstrous magics did this to him?
Got caught out in the darkness or something.
Or maybe his hatred grew to such levels of villainy that he could do nothing but transform.
There is more darkness here than I care to endure.
Or this foul beast destroyed whatever his name is. I'm sorry. The name of the ruler is just gone out
His
of my head.
name is not worth remembering.
Whatever
He is
that
so
man's name
beneath us.
was. This foul beast destroyed him, slay him, and then just assumed his visage instead. What if this creature is of some intelligence? I don't know.
What I know is this rabble here, and I move my phantom limb and try to signal,
Yeah.
but it's gone. I'm like, oh shit. This rabble here, they've joined together to attempt to destroy us.
It cannot
Four of
stand.
us. It cannot stand. They brought us here under false pretenses for a peace treaty. I say this is the time. We join together and rule this world, wipe it clean of all this other rabble that exists. What say you, lords?
I'm with you.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll agree on one condition,
Yes.
that I want to get Isrelia.
That is okay that is fine by me.
This
I
really
don't
is
want
too far for Laval to effectively rule anyway. I figured that would be down to your two kingdoms.
You should go for it, friend.
Thank
But
you.
once Ulrich comes back, he's gonna start taking your people while you're occupied.
Wow.
All right. In that case, I think there is agreement. You all have this time of you know that you can attack and whatnot. So let's go to the life step here because I think we'll probably handle that during this step. So I think I want to start with Delilah because this is kind of you got the bulk of the oomph, right? You get that same surge of power from these, and I definitely remember off the top of my head how much that is. Um, you get an additional 5 on top of the 10. 10 sounds right. Yes. So yes, you get I really like this turn of phrase. Slaying the beast, even if it's one you've slain before, bestows 10 power to your coffers of hubris. It's very good.
Perfect.
Yeah, and you get an additional 5 there, Delilah. So what's you're aging up. What the heck are you planning to do in your life step here?
I'm old now, so I have to make an heir first and foremost.
Yep, yep.
Uh oh, and I got wait. Let me look at the pin.
Yeah. Get an old Delilah.
Um.
Hey there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Delilah's dead, and the baby survives.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Oh no!
So
Died in
wow.
childbirth.
Wow, that's so let's talk about that as like does Delilah start the war against Australia? Like, do you think because you've you took out maybe they were hoping this would be a little bit more effective, they would take this out. Um, what how's that kind of transition there look like? Do you like does the child get born before you take the city after?
I think that Delilah um, never gets to see her flag raised above the city and
Mhm.
dies before, just as the person is coming in to bring news of the victory. She's dead
Oh,
because her body was not meant to bear children. It was so deformed.
so there's another new like mutant leader that they come out with that
Yeah, basically it's like Alien. It's like a chest burster just comes out of her.
shit.
oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Oh my goodness. All right. That is a hell of a life step. So all right. That said, we'll say that Abalon then does get Australia. It falls. I want to see. Do you guys think you capture Grosstein or not? He's the leader that was there with it. He's kind of wily. I'm debating on whether it should be a roll or what do you
I feel
guys
like
think
that's
is
fair
more
enough to ask
interesting?
for a roll. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe make a dexterity roll just to kind of see if you can move fast enough.
Who would you like to roll for that?
Delilah? Does that make sense? You're
Oh,
attacking.
I rolled a 20, so nope.
Yikes.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeesh.
All right. You take the city.
He's
You
fine.
have a lifetime supply of pigs, but Grosstein is in the winds, and it seems like the people still hold him in allegiance, right? Like he might be a thorn in the side in the future.
Roasted.
The little baby's doing that. Yeah.
Exactly. The boss baby.
oh.
All right. That's very interesting. All right. Everybody else is aging up as well. Is anybody else having new heirs?
Yeah, I guess that's what you should do.
Probably a good
Yeah.
good move.
Where is that? I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't
Um,
find the pages where it says that.
should be a
Yeah.
page.
Page 13
Yeah,
Okay.
if you have the
13
Got
full
it.
under
thing.
genetics.
I
Yeah, yeah.
understand.
I'll
Thank
paste
you.
paste a watch them there. If you still have the pamphlets that I sent out way back before.
Got it. All right. Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Perfect.
I got a 5, which is a success.
Okay.
I shall name him Alfredo.
Boo. Boo.
I like it a lot.
6. Good lord. Twins. This
Woo!
die is
Oh.
rolling 6s like hot. Yeesh. Okay.
I like it. And then yeah, what about Valthris?
Difficult pregnancy. The baby is lost.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is a time of sadness in Zelaros.
We'll try again later. That's rough. Yeah, it is. It is sad. I'd say we went for all the black banners, but I think we already do that constantly.
You mean the other black banners?
The Vanta black banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a time of mourning
Mhm.
in Zelaros, yes.
All right. Yeah, so before we get into the power and all that jazz, um so we know Delilah has swarmed across Australia, taken the city, people are fleeing. Is there anything else people are doing in this time?
Um, like as an official downtime activity, or oh no, not an official,
Yes.
or like
Not
an
an
unofficial.
official, but
Oh,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say, like I said, when Ulrich is in control, he's gonna start snatching people along with
Yeah.
Ilara from Delilah's kingdom. And with Acrylia needing to be managed and the death of the ruler, seems like a prime opportunity to do such things.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of distraction. Okay, I need to know how you pronounce that name.
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek.
Is the deck. Good God.
That's very good.
Pretty easy, you guys. Melchizedek.
Oh,
I mean,
Melchizedek, yeah.
rolls off the tongue.
Just I think Genevieve would seek counsel with Valthras to
Mhm.
try to get to the bottom of what this all is. And I want to know what Valthras tells her. You know, you said that there were to be wary of those close at hand. Do you have proof to offer up of this accusation?
Proof? No, no. Merely my word. Take that as you will. But I can tell you that one perhaps closest to you seeks to overthrow. Do with that information what you will. It's up to you, Mother, whether you trust me or not.
And I think the the time passes a little bit. Genevieve makes the twin heirs, and she sees Vivian become like more, and like there's this just jealousy, this
Yeah.
bitterness, and she invites Vivian to inspect a new section of the wall with her, and has this long conversation about alliances and the importance of it, and she just like Sparta kicks her from the wall at the end.
Too bad your shitty wall was only 15
That's
feet tall.
exactly. Ah, my knee.
You guys
Ah.
can't build anything in that.
I like it. I was gonna go either way. If you had not told
Mhm.
Genevieve about it, I was gonna like let Vivian like triumph there. But since you told Genevieve about the machinations, like yeah, she got the upper hand. It was gonna go either way. So thus endeth Vivian's attempt.
Yep. And
I love
I
the
like the image of Genevieve just looking off this wall at like the broken body of Vivian down there.
I love the idea of her kicking her off that wall like into like whatever kind of like, because isn't it jagged ice, like jagged obsidian all? Ugh.
Oh, like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Sick fatality.
Excellent.
I think that after that, my Valthrus's spies come back and like give this information, and I'm like, excellent. But this brings. I would think that this would. I would very soon after reach out to Laval and open official like. I don't know what you call them, like agreements.
Accords, yeah, trade
Yeah,
agreement, something
accords
like
and
that. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, to usher in a new
A
dark
new
age.
era. Yeah.
Oh.
The trade starts coming in real good between our two countries,
Yeah.
and I even allow my people a little bit of that. Oh, what did you call it? Luxury.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Luxury.
We've got a
Yeah,
university too, so maybe people become a little bit more educated. An
yeah.
academy. Yeah.
I
Perfect.
like it. I would like to turn back to Delilah and Melchizedek. Melchizedek.
Yeah, perfect. That was perfect.
Okay, okay. Yeah. What's maybe before she passes, after, like, what's that looking like? That kind of war and expansion on Abalon.
Well, I think that the war goes pretty well, and she's trying out all her new maritime
Mm-hmm.
weapons and feeling pretty good about it. But once she dies, I think all of her priests and high priests and stuff start scheming. It's like the
Yeah.
eunuchs are scheming. You don't want you don't want that. Um, and now there's like definitely people who are trying to be the regent while the baby is too
Yeah.
small to rule. But the baby is even more horrible. Just like with every progressive thing, it's getting worse. And he has like tentacles. It's like Wilbur Whately, basically.
Yeah. I like that. How do you think it's an honor to tend to the baby, or is that like a, like, it's got to be almost sanity rending just to deal with a
Yeah,
child like that?
especially because he needs to be sated, and
Mhm.
like any good horrible creature, he needs to put one of his like vampire squid suckers on the people who are looking after him and suck their blood out.
Oh my goodness. You should have some of the leaders from Laval to come over. They're used to that. That's the old leadership. I like it. So a lot of your, like, followers now start having these, like, marks on their faces from the child.
Exactly, yeah. And I also think that maybe we mounted the for the what was it, 11th
Yeah.
head. We'll mount the beast that we slayed.
Oh, nice, nice. I like that. The head of Isrilia at one point, bringing it into your domain.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. In that case, let's go to the official downtime events. Is you will hopefully recall that we have cultural, familial, martial, rulership, and exploration, which I definitely have that open. There we go. What are people feeling for their kingdom?
Oliver would definitely explore.
Okay. In that case, um, you're going to choose a region, and I will roll and basically tell you all about the event that you can encounter there.
Uh, okay. I will choose the region where the Temple of Light is.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That is in the forests, the tangled woods. Go ahead and roll a d20.
You got it.
Oh, sorry,
7.
d10.
Oh,
D10. It works
okay.
either way. All right. You find out about, and I'll post this in the chat. You come across a very interesting crustacean there, uh, that the Yunas and whatnot in the area call a tree eater. Is basically this crustacean about the size of a couch, and it climbs up trees and, kind of like the logging machine's done. If you've ever see one of those where it just strips all the branches off, they do that there. Um,
Wow.
but it's mostly vegetarian. But you might be able to think of a clever use for it or its claws. amongst there because
We shall collect them and cultivate them.
I like it. And I've posted the stats for the creature should you ever need them. But I like that of you have this creature that you are able to capture potentially and tame.
I'm trying to open up a tree food boil restaurant. Okay. I'm leaving.
All right. What are other people thinking?
I think Valthris, in having just lost her baby, and having just come into womanhood, lost a
Mhm.
baby, lost an arm, like all this shit. She's going familial, which
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So I think family and friends would of course probably be Genevieve, and then maybe she actually starts to like make friends somehow or something. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
With me.
yeah, Oliver. He was a cool guy.
well, you do produce an offspring. That's the familial uh straight up you do that. Um
Oh, okay.
Oliver, I need to get back to you. I forgot to give you the secondary role, but so Valtris, you do have a child through all
Hmm.
of this. Um, who do you have that child with?
Well, I don't know. How about Oliver?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, why not, right?
What?
He was the only person that was ever nice to me once in
Yeah.
my entire life. That one time. So like that guy.
Uh, this
I didn't
kid's
become
gonna be
obsessed
messed
with
up.
him after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, never
Not at
happened.
all.
Not at all. Never happened.
That was like
Uh,
the Hey Arnold monument to him. I don't know if
yeah,
you guys ever watched
I
it.
I hate him, but I love him. But I
One
will
day
kill
that
him.
monument is gonna be him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worrying part.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Go ahead and roll a d8 on top of that.
Valthorix is a real Helga. 5.
5. Oh, that's nice. Along with this, you gain a new lovely animal companion. Name them. They can enter combat without trouble and have better than average stats.
Whoa. Cool. So do we have regular animals in this world that we live in, or should it be some
It's a
fucked up?
couch-sized crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Named Clippy. It's great.
I would
Yes.
say you can take an animal and then fuck it up a little bit, and that's you
Please
can have
take the
that
crab.
equivalent.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean the crabs are good. Maybe Oliver and I were on some sort of romantic like pre-child, like it was our baby moon, and he showed me the crabs and I adopted one.
Let's let's get away from this all and open up a crab shack.
Oh, how did we, man? How did we get here, gang? But here we are.
So you have a couch-sized crab running around with this child that is got to just be completely messed up from the get-go.
Life's pretty
Wait,
good.
wait
Yeah.
till I put the crib in the screaming fish room. Like,
Hey, that's how I was raised. I turned out
Builds
fine.
character.
oh, jeez.
All right. Awesome. All right. Genevieve or Melchizedek? What are you feeling?
I'll go with exploration. I talked about, exploring the mainland across away
Okay.
from our island. So
All right. The mainland. Did you want the mountains then? Sounds like.
sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. The Black Mountains. Roll a d20.
7.
7. Oh, you also find a very interesting creature called a mineral gorilla in here.
Hmm.
Um, Iron muscles hidden beneath a stone exterior, lumbers around on bouldered fists unless threatened. They're smaller than you. They're 7 feet tall and they're weigh 2 tons.
Good
Um,
God.
yeah. But they'd be pretty useful for mining because they can smell
Mm,
smell
mm,
rocks basically. There we go.
interesting.
Yeah, and if you treat them good, they're actually pretty friendly.
Okay.
So how does Genevieve make use of that?
Is there, I guess these mountains are probably mineable, right? So
Yeah,
maybe we start
absolutely.
kind of exploring a way to, get these natural resources from this land here using those gorillas.
Absolutely. That's probably good because the gorillas are hardier than the people you send who end
Yeah.
up getting sick for some reason.
They're useless.
It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah. Their hair starts to fall out. It's a mess.
Weak.
And then roll a d8 as well.
4.
4. I've got great news. Apparently, you're learning unique tactics of the land to enhance your military.
Okay.
Um, your
That
units,
kind of like
yeah,
advantage of like rough terrain and high ground and things like that. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, if you get in a fight in the region, your
Mm,
army is prepared for it and is
cool.
stronger there. It's very neat.
Ruby.
Oliver, before we move on to the last group, could you
Would you
roll a
like a
d8?
D8?
Yes,
All right.
please.
Sure.
Here we go.
4.
4.
Same
You
thing, I
also
think.
get
Yep.
unique tactics. So,
Ah, yes.
yes. What's that look like from the forest?
All right. So tree traps, like log traps, they like fall over, people
Nice,
climbing up
nice.
and using rudimentary bows, stuff like that.
I like that. That's got to be interesting because I think you'll probably run across some Australians that have fled into the woods there because they're learning that same sort of thing. Uh, I don't know what is the the Dominion's take on this conflict? Like, would they report the Australians? What would they do?
Well, they're it's case by case basis
Hmm.
because some people might just be like following the general's mandate
Yep.
of the previous regime, while some people might want. So, like, we'll welcome them in to our
Okay.
fold should
Nice.
they wish to be.
I like that. Some will take you up on that. Some of them, the wounds of having their people, like a third of them dragged away, that's probably still that's tough to get over, I would guess.
You can join them.
That I'd say that works for some of them. Like,
Yeah, they're happy.
yeah, your ranks are somewhat swelling through that. And let's get to Melchizedek. What about your downtime?
Well, I don't have a life step because I was my life step was being born.
That's you know what? That's fair. That's fair. Um, I'll still give you one for Delilah of like what was she
Okay.
planning ahead of time? Maybe not the familial one because that
Yeah,
doesn't make
that
as much
that didn't
sense.
work out. That
Yeah.
didn't work out. I
Never
think
having kids again.
she was definitely planning. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me get the PDF out. Where was it again? Oh yeah, here. Uh, so I can do the exploration, the military, and then what were the other ones?
Rulership
Familial
or
and
cultural? Yeah,
I think we're gonna do the military.
I like it. I like it. All right. Um, go ahead and get an additional D6 of hit points for
Excellent.
your I'll let you apply it to the new child because I think that's very like your kid's being raised in a very military uh Melchizedek's got to be learning fighting.
Mhm. I was
Uh
eating well while he was in the womb.
strong child. And then roll a d8 additionally.
Okay. 6.
6. Ooh, this is interesting. You lead an expedition. You choose a beast that you have killed previously you hunted it again and you get all of its loot again. So yeah, what does that look like
Well,
for
that's
like
pretty nice.
did Delilah do it? Did the people bring Melchizedek out? What's
I
that
think
like?
I think Melchizedek is so unnatural that somehow he, even though he's a baby, managed to destroy the beast.
Awesome. Which one do
And
you
no
think
one saw
What?
him do it. No one saw him do it, but they just know that he did it
All right.
somehow.
So did you take out the crawler, that one that was eating the pigs? Did you take out the glutton, which is the one you just dealt with? Uh, the fury
Or
is
there's
the
also the
fiery
fire,
one.
yeah.
Yep, yep. And I think you have one more as well. The smiler, the kind of the lion-y one.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll go with the I'll go with the most recent one we got, the glutton.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, so I think you have the list of items there
Yeah.
to go. But that what does the group that like finds Melchizedek, like what's the situation that they find him in that they can be like, I think he killed something huge.
I think that they panic because they find that his crib is empty
Hmm.
in like uh out in the because the glutton is a water animal, right?
It's more burrowing, but
Okay. So yeah, they are out in a military camp
mhm.
after taking Isrilia, and they find that his crib is empty, and people are like, "Oh shit, someone's gonna kill us for this." And then they hear a crying noise out in the woods and find him just like sort of crying and sucking on the skull of this creature.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. Just blood everywhere. Just
Yeah.
it's horrible. I like that a lot. All right. And that is where I think we will leave off this season actually is with this form, this little child just absolutely gnawing on the face of a horrible monster. And alliances have been made, kingdoms have been conquered, and we will maybe continue with this someday with more kingdoms. Thanks for listening. Thanks everybody for playing. I don't know about you, but I had a blast seeing what y'all came up with.
Yeah, thanks for running us through this, Nathan. This was very entertaining.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, this the
A lot of fun.
really great system. So, to anybody out there, where can they pick this up, Nathan?
Um, I will put links in the bio because I believe you can buy it directly, um, and support Sophia that way. And this is a really neat system. I think you might have heard about it other places. So I don't think it's on drive through, but if I'm wrong, hopefully words will come up here that say Nathan doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Is there a physical book or is it just
I believe
purely in the
you might
online
not be
space?
able to get the physical book at the moment just because it's sold out, but you can get a PDF of it still. But if you can, try and get it because it's a nice sized book. The art's awesome, well worth checking out. Um, yes, and the little pamphlets, if you can get them for the players, are very helpful as well. That keep track of all the life steps and everything.
Very cool game. Very cool game.
Indeed.
Thank you for running.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you very much.
Well, in that case, we hope you'll join us again for another It's Alive actual play on the RPG Reanimators, and we'll see you next time for some other game. Bye.
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 Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.